What is a perfect boat? This question has consumed the minds of sailors all over the world. We were in the US, searching for our perfect boat that we could sail back to our home in Japan next year. And we thought we had found it. A Fuji 32. Wait, we need to go back a bit more. In 1994, my father was working in Hawaii on a little film called Waterworld. He was gone for a year, and I can still remember vividly fantasizing about sailing the 2,300 miles from California to Hawaii. I was only 10 at the time, but the dream never left me. Distant Dreamer is a Columbia 43, first in class in the 1971 Transpac race. Over the past 2 years, we sailed with the owner Mike, over 500 miles from Tokyo to Kyushu.
American scrambled egg.
And we were considering to purchase her after some repairs. Eager to get to know the boat, Julie and I joined Mike in the daunting task of removing and rebedding his 5-ton keel. There was no manual for this. And the yard we were at had no experience with a keel as large and as heavy as Mike's. You can always get wedges for that part. But with a little ingenuity, Julia's working hard, and some elbow grease. All this got me thinking, what is our perfect boat? In fact, the Columbia was not the only boat we seriously considered in Japan. This is Mitsuhiro Iwamoto. In 2019, he set the world record for the first Pacific crossing by a blind sailor. His story was inspiring, to say the least. Not only had he made the crossing despite his limitations, but it was his second attempt. He struck a whale early on his first try. The boat sank and they were rescued by the Japanese military. A novice sailor named Doug, moved by Mitsuhiro's story, offered to purchase a new boat and join as the navigator for his second attempt, this time from California to Japan. Dreamweaver, Doug's 1994 Island Packet 40, was now for sale, just north of Tokyo. She was very capable of making the journey back to the US. But in the end, I just couldn't get the funds together. Seeing her out of the water, I loved the simplicity and strength of her full keel design. Doug had chosen her specifically for this reason. She was strong and safe. All sailboats are a balance of compromises. Where the Columbia was fast and nimble, with its light displacement and fin keel, the Island Packet's hull design was simple and strong. No keel bolts, nothing to be removed or repaired down the line, but it won't win any races. After my grandmother's passing, then meeting Julia, we completely abandoned the idea of purchasing a boat in Japan.
Thank you.
We weren't discouraged by the time we spent searching for boats in Japan.
Oh, there you go. That way.
But just grateful for everything it taught us.
What's the point?
And so there we were, on our quest to find our perfect boat in the US.
I wonder how often he hits cars or something.
It hasn't hit anything though.
On cue. Alright, the robot finally arrives. Now what do we do?
Says, I'm next to the robot. Unlock.
Hello, here's your delivery.
Thank you, robot.
Wow.
And then when you're done, you just say, send the robot away.
Thank you.
What'd you think?
Yeah, it's hilarious and so impressive.
Our minds were set on a safe and affordable full keel boat.
Her name is Shira, Japanese for mahi-mahi.
Huge ports there, they all open. The original Fuji, those didn't open. She's a full keel sailboat with a cutout forefoot, designed by Claire Oberle. She was built by Fuji yacht builders in Japan in 1976. Until the Japanese economic bubble burst in the 90s, there were many companies building sailing yachts in Japan. Today, only Okazaki Yacht Builders remains. The monitor wind vane is right here. Solar panel there, wind generator and radar. We checked the radar. We got the Simrad radio, and the previous owner had spent many years rebuilding her from a bare hull, reglassing bulkheads, redesigning the rudder and dorade vents, enlarging the front hatch, and a whole lot more. Julie's favorite part is the trash can. And cold. It's not too loud. It's actually very cold. He documented the process in a 45-page build log he posted online. Why don't we, can you latch that? Yeah. Snap it in. We wanted a lot from our boat, and she seemed to tick all the boxes. So it's not huge, but for us we kind of fit.
So that was that. Case closed. We made an offer, signed the contract, and set sail into the land of the rising sun.
Yeah, that didn't happen. We really had assumed we would make an offer on the Fuji that day, if we liked what we saw. We had been drooling over her for months. Yet, we left without making an offer. What do you think?
We should stop somewhere.
What do you think?
It's wonderful. It's incredible.
Julia,
What?
where are we?
We are in Bend, Oregon.
We took a few days to think about it all, spending some time with more family on the way north to visit some more boats.
We decided to bring zero latency to Bend because it was a world-class solution that was out there.
Actually, walking around in an open space was a bizarre feeling. And when we got out of it, reality was more dull in comparison. Maybe we are slightly biased, but it's really cool. You should totally check it out if you're in the area.
Julia, I'm filming you. Nice dance.
I'm taking the snow out of Dave's car.
Going from Bend to Salem area, actually McMinney, over the pass, and we debated whether to get chains. And then we got them, and then we thought, oh, we didn't even need them. But now we're here, and we need them. 19 miles an hour, slow and steady. Marina fees are not cheap in California, running easily over $1,000 a month. So we planned to store the boat on our family's property while we are gone. That means hiring a truck to deliver her. And we were trying to stay under $30,000. The Fuji made sense on paper, but something told us we should look a bit more. Alright, here's the Baba 30. This is probably our favorite boat, but it's a little bit out of our budget. They're asking 50, I think, 49. Like Dreamweaver and the Fuji, she was built like a tank and had a full keel. You might be wondering why we didn't wait till we actually were ready to sail to Japan to buy the boat. Maybe that would have been smarter, but we didn't want to spend our next visit looking for boats all over again. We need to begin preparing her for the trip to Japan. And if we come inside, very, very spacious. She felt more like a 35-foot boat on the inside. It was really incredible how well they used this space. Just drawer space everywhere, and on the drawers there's sliders for just every nook and cranny of this boat has extra space in it. She was worth her asking price, but just too high for us. So that's access to the Beta Marine engine, which is beautiful. 2016 V-berth is huge and actually very square. So instead of going to such a point, probably the biggest negative on this boat is all the teak on the outside that would need some upkeep. Other than that, it's beautiful. All right, we are on board the Yankee 30. That's the cockpit, long enough for Julia to lay down, I think. The Yankee didn't have a full keel, but these boats were still known as being quite strong and seaworthy. You can see that every panel of the boat, there's like that thick foam. She was still owned by the original owner, and it was clear that they cared deeply for her. Prop actually goes alongside the skegged rudder and spins next to the rudder, which is a bit strange. I had sailed a Fuji 40 in Japan with a similar off-axis prop, and it would always fight the rudder anytime you motored. Very beautiful boat, but it is small and would need a lot more systems if we were going to take it across an ocean. So we moved on, and the Fuji was back to the top of our list.
Not making season
Julia,
now.
where are we? Your favorite question.
We are Newport.
Yes.
Newport. We're in Newport, Oregon. And what you hear are seals. They're over there in that rock.
We made an offer on the Fuji of 28. He did not accept, but we're gonna look at some more boats and maybe make him a counter offer or a different offer. We had been trying to fit each one within our specific criteria. We had learned so much over the past 2 years looking at different boats, but none of them felt right for some reason. We decided to throw away our expectations of what a perfect boat is and just look at some other boats with an open mind. All right, we got a Ferro cement 44-foot boat here in Oregon. Apparently, this boat was built by a German engineer. He had sailed her across the Pacific multiple times. It's literally just kind of cemented in there, I guess. Chain plates are one of the only things I'm not sure about. How you could service those. I don't know if that's something you can take down or not. Ferro cement boats are built by forming cement around a steel wire mesh. There are a lot of mixed opinions about this type of construction. Honestly, feels more like a bunker than a boat. I had researched them a bit, and it seems they are more than capable of making a serious passage. The biggest issue I found was getting them insured. Got some berths there. But if budget is tight, like it was for us, there are many bargains to be had. Under here, there's a piano, believe it or not. We never really had any intention to purchase this boat, but we liked her a lot more than we thought we would, and she taught us that our perfect sailboat may not come from a simple list of requirements. Definitely want to have it surveyed by someone that knows Ferro cement boats, because I have no idea. Where are we?
You can ask. I don't know. But look, there are sea lions. It has, like you. It's drooling. Look,
What do you mean, like me?
you drooled once on me.
So what did she say to us? The lady came and what'd she say?
That these are bitches. She called them bitches.
Yeah.
They can attack people.
And what happens
And there's a
if
fine of $1,000. Not if you attack them, but if they attack you. No, not me, over there.
We are in Northern California, and we just came out of the redwoods. On paper, the Fuji 32 was our perfect boat, but we just weren't in love with her.
After what we thought was a harmless stop to visit Tyler's sister and super cute niece, I wanted to make sure I was COVID-free before attending Kyudo practice in San Francisco.
Hey Julia, what are we doing?
Don't record.
You gotta do it until you gag, until your eyes water. Yeah. Ooh, yummy.
That's mucus. What happens?
It's okay.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to go in your nose. What do they expect? We had to be in LA in just 2 days to catch a flight to Spain. In a bit of desperation, we called a broker in Monterey to see a boat we had found online before leaving Japan. But she was much longer and heavier than we wanted. She also lacked a lot of key systems. But we really loved her classic Viking design.
On our way there, we started feeling unwell and soon we had a fever. Tyler's sister was sick too. We had to call the broker to cancel our viewing. Hey there! We're half an hour away, but we think we may have COVID.
COVID? Nah. I've had my vaccines and boosters. I'm not worried about it. Just put on your masks and keep some distance while you check her out.
Was this guy serious? We were in a bit of shock, fever and headaches getting worse. But we were determined to not miss our final chance. There was no more time. We had to power through it and see if she's the one. Hello everyone, thanks for watching our video. We're on a ferry right now from Tokyo to Tokushima, and we've been working really hard on editing our video this last couple weeks. When we took the video in the US, we weren't even sure if we were gonna make any videos about this. So sorry for the lack of video in it, but Julia's taken the challenge of making some animations to complement the stuff that we don't have. So we hope you like the format. We're not super comfortable on camera, but we're working on it, and we hope you guys enjoy the videos, and from now on we are taking more video of what we're doing. We're heading back to the US in December to start the work on our boat. Spoiler, we did get a boat.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. If anyone is interested in supporting, we do have a Patreon that we opened.
The first Patreon was...
Yeah, my father.
Yeah.
And we had one more patron who is Hiroki, and he lives in Tokushima, same as us, so we're excited to meet up with you.
Yeah, we were really surprised too. Julia, we have another Patreon.
Yeah. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. There's a lot more content to come. From here, we go look at the final boat. We head to Spain. We see her family. We do some sailing over there, but there's a few snags along the way. I hope you guys enjoy. On the next episode,
Nice little more winches. A lot better than the exterior.
very, very well laid out. Tack now. Actually, a lot more storage than I thought looking at the ad.
Yeah.
The one